What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Daily Refinement. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. In this episode, I'm going to go over a 10-year reseller retirement plan. The reason why I just made this calculator, I'm going to add it into my reseller field guide, which is available if you want to click the link below. There's a 50% off coupon if you use code YouTube. You can also ask me any questions at chris@dailyrefinement.com. But as an entrepreneur and a reseller, I have chosen this as my career. There really is no 401k company match because the company is myself. So I have been learning a lot about personal finance, and the vehicle that I've chosen to sort of invest is called a SEP IRA. It's sort of a self-directed 401k for business or for small business owners, and it's a way for us to add more into retirement, because if you end up starting a small business, oftentimes when you first get started, you're not making as much money and you are taking a massive opportunity gamble versus just getting a regular job. In fact, this is something I talk about a lot with my fiance. If I just chose a regular job instead of being an entrepreneur, I pretty much have a guaranteed retirement by 40, as long as, we stay frugal. Versus as an entrepreneur, you don't know. Like, I might be able to retire earlier, but it might take longer. You actually don't know. It depends on how good you are at problem solving. And so that's why I wanted to make this sheet, to give you guys an idea of what does it actually look like to be a reseller. And if it's not realistic, please let me know in the comments below. But I think this is pretty legit and possible. Okay, so the first year you are reselling, I'm just going to put zero invested. You're just figuring out how to do this, right? You have to find items that actually can sell within a certain period of time. You have to learn that skill. How long does it take for an item to sell, and how much money are you getting back? If you don't know how to do that, this can't be your career. So the first year, figure out how to do that. Watch YouTube videos. You don't have to buy anything. Just learn what the item is that you're finding is worth online. That one skill translates to every single kind of job. Okay, so the first thing is figure that out. The next thing is you have to be, in my opinion, in the top 5% of people who resell, or in the top 5% of any industry, if you want to save a lot of money. Because the people that are complaining about their jobs and 9 to 5, those are usually the people who are in the first 20 levels of being in the company. Unless you are a high-level manager, or you're a professional, or you own your own company, you're not making six figures. The average income in the United States for a household, I think, is only $52,000 for two people. So if you want to retire early, the number that you have to think about, which I'm just at a very late age looking into personal finance, but your savings rate is actually the number one indicator of whether or not you will be able to retire early, how much you save. So, as you grow and make more money, a lot of people have lifestyle creep. That happened to me. As soon as I started making six figures, I bought a nice car, upgraded my apartment, bought all the nice stuff. But, if you just keep the same lifestyle and upgrade your income, then you start to save huge amounts of money. And I'm noticing that now, driving a 13-year-old car, no bills, very different than, when I first started earning money. So anyway, there's this magical rule in personal finance, which is you save 25 times your income that you would need to live to retire. So in this example, I'm using 40,000. I think in the Bay Area, it's more like 60,000. If you're basically trying to run a household and live here, is a little bit higher, and it could be lower in some other areas of the United States. But I'm just going to put 40,000 as a generic rule. And so 25 times that is $1 million in accounts that will produce hopefully at least 4% annual return. That's a very conservative. Like if you were to take just putting it into mutual funds, you should be able to out earn 4%, but we're being conservative here. So how long would that actually take to retire? So I'm putting this in here, this example, because this is for the top 5% of people who are reselling, which I consider doing 125 items a week at $20 profit or higher, or you have replenishable products and you have stuff that you're selling 125 items a week, but maybe it's only 2 SKUs or 3 SKUs. You figured out how to find a specific product that sells multiple times. In any case, that would put you in the top 5% of resellers. Most resellers sell what they can find. Every single week is different. They have no schedule. They have no work ethic. It's random every single week, and so they get random results. People who are in the top 5% of their field, it's very predictable what happens because they do the same thing every week. They have habits, routines, schedules. They may have employees. It's very, very, very different when you're in the top 5%. I'm not saying, and I think that a lot of people are confused when they think, oh, reselling is really easy. You don't need to do all this. Well, it depends on what your goal is. If you want to retire in 10 years, I'm saying you need to squirrel away $1,500 a week. That's a lot, right? Of course, if you're just trying to get by, reselling is super easy, in my opinion, right? Because you just find, let's say, 30 or 40 items a week, make $10 profit. There's your $300 to $500 a week. That's enough for you to get by almost anywhere in the United States. But we're not talking about getting by. We're talking about getting to the point where work is optional. So that's 25 times your income in this case, 40,000. If you lived in the Bay Area and you owned your home outright, you could probably still do this 40K. So you just have to factor in paying off your home. And 40,000 is not an extravagant lifestyle. You probably still drive a Honda Accord, but you wouldn't have to work for anybody. No one would tell you what to do. So kind of a cool place to be, and it's something that a lot of millennials like myself are aiming towards. I don't ever want to retire, but I just want to work on projects that I like. So 125 items times $20 profit. I would consider you in the top 5% of people who do this. From just meeting a lot of people doing this full time and talking to people full time, the average person does about 50 items a week at $10 profit. If you're looking at, on average, what do resellers actually earn? It's probably about $2,000 net. That's not super exciting. I think you would earn just as much working at Starbucks or McDonald's. The only difference is that you get to choose what you do every day. And for some people, that's worth a fortune. You can take care of your family. You can hang out with your kids more often. There's a lot less costs associated with working for yourself. You don't have to commute as much. You don't have to wear fancy clothes. There's no company happy hour that you're blowing $60 at. It's very, very, very different when you work for yourself. There's a lot more write-offs. So this is a lot, I want people to be happy and create an endeavor that they really enjoy, like myself. I don't feel like I work a day in my life. I love finding things and selling them for a higher profit. And I think it's a really good vehicle for people to do in retirement because, as things move to more and more online arbitrage, the largest opportunity to buy goods is online. It's not in person. It's not at auctions. It's online. Using software or figuring out how to buy stuff online at a discount is the future. So you need to learn that one skill. If you want to be in the top 5% of resellers, you probably would learn how to source from your house. And this is just basic math. How many people can you reach on the phone versus driving around, right? And if you provide the right solution to someone that has a problem, Brooks from DataMine is in my mastermind group, and he's always asking people, where do these goods go, right? When you're done, he's asking companies this, not people. And companies will say, this is how we get rid of goods. And then he's there to say, let me take over that as a service to you and help you solve this problem. And so he's developing a network of people who give him supply. And now he's also developing a network of people who work for him and list. And this is where you start creating this abundance. So as long as you don't have lifestyle creep and you can keep your income the same and you can squirrel away $1,500 a week, which is 125 items that are at $20 items a week, that's what you're saving, okay? So step one would be figure out how to earn $1,500 a week net, right? That's important. Step two is you have to figure out how to pay your bills, either another way, get a part-time job or a full-time job, live frugally, whatever, or increase your reselling business so you can pay your bills with it. And then, I just put in here, learn to live on $40,000 a year because most people should be able to live okay on that range. And if you do want a more expensive lifestyle, at least now you know, right? If you want a Range Rover and you want to take 6 vacations a year, whatever, that's cool. Just know you need to earn a little bit more each week in order to pay for that lifestyle. I have no issue with that. My old boss used to say, Chris, if you want to learn how to make $2,000 more a month, just buy a Porsche because you have to pay for it, right? That's how much it costs to drive a brand new Porsche out of pocket, actual cost. Even if you pay cash for a Porsche, that's how much it depreciates plus gas plus whatever for a brand new one. It's expensive. So, first year of ownership, probably about $25,000. So if you really wanted one, you could figure out how to earn $2,000 more, but some people do it the opposite way and get that material good that they're looking for right away. Or another more normal way of achieving that is just have a kid, right? Kids are expensive. There's a lot of extra costs with that. Most people just figure out how to handle that. So this is important, guys. This is a 3-step plan, sort of retiring in 10 years. I actually think you could do this solo. You don't need any help from anybody else. You could just lock yourself in a room, turn off social media, and find 10 products in your lifetime, right? Or let's just say in a year. Could you find 10 products in a year that you can sell 125 of in a week? Probably, if that's all you did, you dedicated yourself to this craft of finding a solution. For example, one niche I was investigating is water filters. Water filters sell thousands of times a day. They're very common. They're very popular. And this is a niche that you could get into and learn how to earn X amount of money. And if you became the number one seller of water filters in America, you definitely would earn well over this amount of stuff. So it just depends on how good you are at solving a problem. I'm seeing a lot of people emailing me with stuff like, I have 25 items in my store. I have 3,000 items in my store. Why is my income not where it needs to be? And the answer is, it doesn't matter how many items are in your store. That's a silly question. You should be asking if there's a product market fit. Like, is there a need for the stuff that you have? If you had 2,500 bars of gold discounted below market and you couldn't sell them, there's something wrong with your store. But if it's 2,500 used items that no one is looking for, why would you have a high sell-through rate? That doesn't make sense. So hopefully you find this information useful or thought-provoking. If you do, please smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm doing Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday now. See you guys later.